this juncture, I would like to invite our guest of honor, Mheshimiwa Johanna Ngeno, MP for Marua Dikir in Narok, and the chair of the Departmental Committee on Housing, National Assembly. So he'll address us and tell us how you can participate through, while you are away, you can participate in legislation and the opportunities back home, especially within his department. Karibu Mheshimiwa. Tumpigie makofi.
Asante. Habari yenu. Asante sana. I must also appreciate the fact that I've gotten this opportunity to have a word or two, especially to great people both from Kenya and who are also residing in this particular country. It is my first time to attend this particular forum, and especially a forum that deals with daring opportunities which are rare and which are very competitive. Like what Chamwada said, my name is Johanna Ngeno Kipiegon. I'm a member of parliament for Marua Dikir, a constituency in Narok County, and I'm the chair departmental committee on housing, urban planning and public works. This is a very great opportunity to interact with most of our citizens from our country and who are residing in this country, and business people, serious investors who have invested in this country, and those who have come also to challenge the Kenyans who are living abroad on how they can invest back home. And like the MC has said, I represent a committee that oversees the government, especially the State Department for Housing and Urban Planning. This committee looks into how the State Department invests, especially on housing programs. I represent a committee that oversees the government, especially the State Department for Housing and Urban Planning. This committee looks into how the State Department invests, especially on housing programs. I remember last year, the President introduced the question of affordable housing, and it went through several hurdles until we introduced a bill in the National Assembly that allowed us to do public participation across the country. Unfortunately, we could not come outside the country, but we did within the precincts of our country what we call public participation, to understand how people would wish to embrace this particular program which the President initiated. And we received overwhelming contributions by members of the public, and the law was passed in Parliament, and it was assented by the President. What does this law deals with? It deals with a creation of a fund called levy, affordable housing levy, that collects levies from different sources, salaries, businesses, etc. And this particular collection goes towards building affordable housing, which is provided for under Article 43 of the Constitution, where it gives the responsibility to the government, where in this case the government means both the executive and the legislature, to ensure that it makes affordable housing accessible to Kenyans. Affordable housing, a house that has all the requirements, at least basic requirements, including water, electricity, and sanitation. And therefore, this fund was introduced towards building this affordable housing. How then can a Kenyan access this housing? You can access these houses after it has been done by the State Department. And when I mean State Department, we have several agencies that deals with the construction. We have the State Department, we have the Public Works, we have the National Housing Corporation, that incorporates even private entities to build these houses. After building these houses, if you want to get a house, you go to Bomayangu, www.bomayangu.go.ke. Whether you are in Kenya or you are abroad, you can access these houses. You can put your savings in that particular account. And so when we came to this country, of course, we've been visiting several activities. But when I got the invitation to attend this particular forum, I felt that I should, and especially to meet Kenyans who are living abroad and who want to dare invest back home. We know our country has what we call foreign earner, which mostly used to be agriculture and tourism. But lately, the highest foreign earner in our country are the contributions or the money that are sent by Kenyans living abroad back home. It's a very big investment. But when you go back home, you rarely find tangible investments vis-a-vis the money that Kenyans who are living abroad have sent. What we think as the committee on housing is that we wish to persuade the Kenyans living abroad, both in all the countries across the world, when they are sending their money back home, either for school fees, for food, for whatever needs our people back home have, please consider investing on affordable housing. I know there are so many companies, especially which are here, that deals with housing, that build houses. And we are not saying that the State Department or our department is in competition with all these companies that are doing houses, but we are working together, complementing each other, so that when they did theirs, we also did ours. Ours can be accessed by those low-earning cadre in the society. So how do we as diaspora invest back home? We have had a discussion with several Kenyans who are living abroad, and today is a very great day because I can access the few Kenyans who are here and also those who are back home who never attended this particular function, that instead of sending money to your relatives in Kenya, you can buy a house. You can buy a house through Bomayangu and then allow the relatives back home to access that house, either to live on it, either to be their retirement home, or even to rent it out so that they can use the proceeds from rent to meet their costs, either for education or for food. So it is a form of investment. You can invest as a retirement home for you or for those who are back home, or at the same time you can invest as an investment